Guys, it's me, Andy2 here, and today I am here to talk about high school and all of the politics that happens in the sports. This is my story time number 3, why high school sports isn't all what it's cracked up to be. That's today's episode. So basically, today's entire video pretty much starts when I was a freshman and I came in. And yeah, I'm a baseball athlete at heart, but I'm also fairly decent at basketball. Good enough to where I probably should be on a high school basketball team, right? As you guys can tell, I'm not. So I'm hitting 750 ping for whatever reason. Not live streaming or anything, so that's interesting. But for whatever reason, high school sports has the literal most politics in it that I've ever seen in a sport in my life, which, I mean, that's normal. But I mean, coming into high school with everyone telling you, oh, it's gonna be great, you're gonna enjoy it so much, and that I really haven't enjoyed the high school athletic life that much, other than when I actually got to play during baseball season. So we're gonna start with basketball season here. So I go try out, me and Connor Funt go and try out Any Brave One. I'm sure many of you know him. And we think that we are sure shots. We think we have pretty good shots to make the team, because we didn't think there was anyone as good as we were. And Connor's definitely better at me in some things than others. So I definitely thought if any of us were gonna make it, it was gonna be him. Because he's just a basketball player, and he's a better basketball player than I am. Although lately it's been, it's been kind of even, but that's beside the point. So we go to try out, we make it through the first 2 days, and on the third day, which is the first day of cuts, man, mind you, so it wasn't really like it was an accomplishment making it through the first 2 days, Connor gets cut. On the first day, like they knew they didn't want him the first day. That has kind of struck me the wrong way. Like, that's when I kind of knew that if he wasn't going to make it, there was almost no shot I was going to make it. But, you know, kept out hope. Next day, go there, and I do really well. Like, better than most of the kids there, I'd say. I mean, I didn't do anything that you'd really remember, just because that's kind of how my game works, is I don't really do anything too flashy. I just kind of do my thing, get it done, and get out. So, didn't really do anything too flashy, so maybe that's my own fault that I didn't do anything to get the coach's attention, but if that's what they rely on, then I'm sorry, but unfortunately you're not a very good coach. But hello, edits. So, like I said, we get cut, and so we started a wide basketball team and I had a lot of fun. So obviously this year I'm thinking, no, I don't want to play that. I don't play that piece of trash that's high school basketball, because all I heard is that it's just politics and the kids who are good don't actually get to play. So I didn't want to play this year. The varsity coach continued to talk to me about going to play and trying out this year, which he was friends with my basketball coach that I had, and I guess you could say like the Y ball or whatever, spirit ball, whatever you want to call it. And so he just kept trying to get me to go out. And that's, I mean, it's supposed to inspire confidence in me, but the only thing it did was just give me a reason more not to go. Like, I was considering going, and I just didn't, because I just didn't want to. Like, I just thought I didn't want to. I don't know what to say. So that's one thing, is basketball season was very eye-opening from the beginning about how it was all going to go down, especially at Southeast, which I'm pretty sure is one of the most, like, I guess you could say, schools that is has the most politics, which is bad for any athlete there, and unfortunate for them that they have to deal with that. But you do what you gotta do. Baseball season comes around. I am probably the best baseball player at Southeast when it comes to this. I mean all around, yes. It's just, yeah. I don't really like bragging about that, but I'd say I am. Or at least I'm really close. I'm in the top 3 probably, at least. But I played. I expected to be put on the JV level to start, and I wasn't, which was already a tip-off. And I go out and I almost set a couple records as a freshman in the state, which is really good as a freshman on reserve. Almost set a couple records. Weird flex, but okay. So you figure, oh, they must have put you on like JV for the summer, varsity. No, they basically put me on the reserve for the summer. And this is where, so Southeast only has three summer teams, 3 Legion teams. Because apparently that makes sense, because they can bypass a couple of the rules. Because in typical Southeast fashion, we like to break the rules. Not hating, I'm just saying. So we do that. And we get to the summer, and I start off, and I'm having a great, just like, I was playing every game. I was doing great in all of those games, like, leading the team in a couple of categories. Like, batting average, I was leading the team. Extra base hits, I was leading the team for about 2 or 3 games before I stopped playing. Like, the stats are saying things that are, like, crazy. That I was leading a team full of juniors, and the sophomores who were the juniors this year who were supposed to be on that level, they were getting out-battled, I guess you could say, by a freshman. Now, I'm different than a lot of freshmen, to be 100% honest. So are me and Connor and even David Swanson. We're all different compared to a lot of the freshmen. So I can understand. But this is no offense to Jackson Carter, who's a kid that I played with. But the kid is he didn't have the best reserve season, and he got put up there in the first place. Like, he didn't have a very good tryout, and he got put on reserve, which is already kind of how you know there was politics there. I mean, I love Jackson. Jackson's one of my best friends, but he's just, I don't think he was quite ready for reserve. He kind of got manhandled a little bit on reserve, which I feel bad for him, because he does deserve the very best that no one ever was. But like, why? How does that not hit? But anyways, it's kind of when I first noticed the politics starting, was right then, when he got put on reserve ahead of some other kids who had much better tryouts than he did, and who I knew were better. The coaches knew were better. They just didn't do anything about it. So, not to hate on Jackson once again, because I like Jackson. He's a good kid, but he just wasn't ready for reserve. Shouldn't have been there. Coaches shouldn't have put him there in the first place. Another kid that shouldn't have been there, this kid named Jack Legal. Wait, what? But anyways, so that happens, and then we get to the summer. And like I said, I was having an amazing summer as well. I was leading the team in batting average, slugging percentage, all the big stats for a majority of the first half of the year. And the coach said, if you perform, you will play during state and districts. And as we got closer to state and districts, I saw my playing time steadily decline. And generally, when you see your playing time steadily decline, that's not a good thing. Generally, that means you did something to piss the coaches off, and I didn't. I kept my mouth shut, and I worked hard for them every game. And we go up to South Dakota, and I have a tournament where I go like 9 for like 17, something crazy. Some crazy good stat. And I did not play another game the rest of the year. I went 9 for 17 in 4 games, and I think we played 6 up there, because I know I sat 2. And there was no reason for me to sit 2, because there was only 2 first basemen. And I know one may be better defensively than I am, but that's still no excuse to why he should be playing in ahead of me. If my offensive stats are better, and he hit He had probably the worst average on the team late year. No offense to Zach, because he's a really good person too, and I really like Zach. But he didn't perform at the end of the year. Like, I don't understand how you can start a kid who was hitting less than 100 for 90% of the second half of the season. And even in the middle of the season, he was only hitting 300 at best. And when you have a kid who's hitting 400, 500, and he's a freshman, and you can groom him into something that you can use, does it make sense that you wouldn't play that kid? I don't. Maybe that's just me thinking. Does it make sense? I only have one kill. This is news. Does it make sense that you wouldn't play that kid? No. Hell no, it doesn't. You play the kid who's hitting 500 and who's outplaying all of your upperclassmen and the kids that you adore so much. You play that kid. You play the kid that's been working for you and been loyal to you, so you don't piss him off. So that he leaves the program. So you don't have that option anymore to play with. As that kid who was leading your team in a couple of stats. You no longer have that option because you piss him off and he leaves the team. This whole season, I got progressively more and more angry as the season went on. Hold on, are we about to hit this? Oh, never mind. Did I not shoot? So, overall, my high school experience has been pretty bad. Pretty bad when it comes to athletics. It's completely politics. There's no actual coaching that goes on. And this is no offense to Southeast's coaches. I mean, I feel like I say that a lot when I call people out in this video, but this is definitely not me talking trash about Southeast. It's just me talking trash about high school sports in general. And how at schools in Lincoln, you can't hire guys that just coach for your school. They have to teach. So they get paid to teach, and their volunteer hours are during the summer. So you get what you pay for. So I don't know how you expect the guy to be a good coach if he doesn't get paid what he should to be out there coaching. You feel? I don't know. I think that LPS is cheap. Another thing in Lincoln is the baseball fields that we have are probably the worst baseball fields in Nebraska. And we are the second most populated city. So I don't get the whole array of high school sports anymore. I'm literally just going to play for somewhere that can get my, I guess you could say, draft stock up. Anywhere that can get me noticed at this point is better than here. Cause it's time to grind. It's time to get my everything up. This has been a horrible gameplay. Oh, this is just background at this point. But I'm out here. I'm gonna stick it out for this last spring season, and if it doesn't go well, I'm gone. You will not see me in a Southeast uniform anymore. You will not. Well, there's the story time number 3. If you guys want more story times, tell me what you want. If you want it about how my high school situation with just the school in general is going, with all the people there and the relationships I've built up, comment that down below. If you want a better gameplay for this type of stuff, only 7 kills, my bad, but I'm trying to get gameplays up and get out of here and go to bed. But if y'all did enjoy, make sure you leave a like. Just know that this stuff, it's something that I need to get out, I need to talk about. And it's just, if you've experienced something like this, which I know definitely some of you have, just the politics of high school, I feel like that's normal. But I feel like it's different when you have a kid that almost broke a couple of records and was leading your team in the major stat categories. I just feel like it's different when you don't play him and he's on JV, not even varsity. You start him for a guy who's hitting under 100 for the majority of the half where I didn't play, and his defense just wasn't much better. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm gonna clutch it out this season. We're gonna grind this season. Work hard, get better, prepare ourselves for this season, and we are going to see just what I can become. Hopefully it's drafted one day for the MLB. That's great, network connection. But other than that, if you guys want a more intensive thing to the story, if you have my Snapchat or anything like that, message me. I'll give you the whole scoop. I'll let you know how things are going this season with baseball. I'll let you guys know. Let you know how the biz is all going. And we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.